What's up, y'all? My name Darrell Williams, and I'm gonna go over the pre-trip class A with y'all today. And obviously, there's no truck, so I'm gonna do it without the truck. First, I'm gonna go over here to my drive wheels, and then I'm gonna chop it 6 inches from the front and 6 inches in the back. Then I'm gonna go to the door, take the key out of my ignition, and put it in my pocket. Then I'm gonna unlock the hood. I'm not gonna open it, I'm gonna just unlock it. Then I'm gonna walk in front of my tractor. I'm gonna look at my trailer clearance lights, my tractor clearance lights, my tractor ID lights, and my tractor turn signals. They're not big, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and they are armor in color. Then I'm gonna look at my tractor headlights, my tractor high beams. They're not big, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and they are in color. And I don't see no signs or connotation that would indicate a leak. Then I'm gonna look under my tractor. I'm looking for cops, no coolant, oil, or power steering fluid, and I see no leaks. Then I open my hood. Then I'm gonna walk around on the passenger side to my exhaust. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, U-bolt, or clamps, and I don't see no sign of soot that will indicate an exhaust leak. Then I'm gonna follow my exhaust to my engine compartment. I look at my hose. They're not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I see and hear no leaks. Then I go to my alternator. My alternator not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and it is belt driven. Then I go to my alternator wires. My alternator wires not cut, cracked, gyrated, or frayed, and there's no burnt or exposed wires. Then I go to my belt. My belt is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or frayed. It's at a proper tension, and I should be able to move it no more than a half of an inch. Then I walk around my tractor. Then I'm gonna go to my coolant reservoir. My coolant reservoir not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. It has a sight glass so I can see that it's filled to its proper level, and I see no leaks. Then I go to my oil dipstick and my oil fill tube. That's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. And how I would check my oil is I would take the dipstick out, wipe it off, put it back in, take it out. If it's at the proper level, fine. If not, I would fill my oil through my fill tube. Then I would check my air compressor. My air compressor not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I hear no leaks, and it is gear driven. Then I will go to my water pump. My water pump is not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. I see no leaks, and it is belt driven. Then I will go to my power steering reservoir. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. And with a sight glass, if it had a sight glass, it would indicate that it's at a proper level, and I see no leaks. Then I will go to my power steering reservoir hose. It's not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I see no leaks. Then I will go to my power steering reservoir pump. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. I see no leaks, and it is gear driven. Then I will go to my spring mounts, front and back, and my U-bolts. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. Then I go to my spring leaves. My spring leaf is not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. They're properly in line. If more than a quarter of a leaf is missing, I will place this tractor out of service. Then I will go to my shock absorber. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. Then I will go to my steering leakage. I will look at my steering rod. I will look at my steering box. I will look at my pitman, and I will look at my drag link, and I will look at my steering knuckle. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and there is no sign of U joints or sockets that are worn, and they're properly lubricated. Then my castle nut and my cotter pin are secure, and there's no leaks coming from my steering box. Then I would check my brake hose. My brake hose is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I hear no leaks. Then I would check my brake chamber and locking ring, not bent, cracked, or broken, and I hear no leaks. Then I would check my slack adjuster, push rod, and cotter pad. Not bent, cracked, or broken. It sits at a 90-degree angle, so with the brakes relief, it should move no more than 1 inch. Then I go to my brake liner. There's no excessive wear. There's no sign of oil or grease, and there's no wears other than factory. Then I go to my brake drum. My brake drum not bent, cracked, or broken. I see no signs of oil and grease, and there's no wears other than factory. Then I go to my valve stem. My valve stem not bent, cracked, or broken. The cap is on, so I hear no leaks. Then my tire pressure sits at 100 psi because I checked it with a pressure gauge. My tread depth is 432, and my sidewalls is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and there's no uneven wear. My rims not bent, cracked, or broken, and there's no holes or wears other than factory. Then I go to my lug and stud, not bent, cracked, or broken. There's no running rust, so I see no sign of a loose lug or stud. Then I go to my hub oil seal. My hub oil seal not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. And how I would check it, I would take the cap off, the rubber cap off, put my pinky inside, and see that it's filled to its proper level. Then I will go to my door, my hinges, and my handles. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. They are properly functioning. And then I will raise my window down and roll it back up. Then I will go to my door seal. My door seal is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and it's secure. Then I will go to my mirror brackets on my door and on my hood. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. Then I will go to my mirrors. My mirrors on my door, my mirrors on my hood, not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. They're not cut, they are not chipped or cracked, and they are clean and clear. Then I go to my DEF tank and my diesel tank, my straps and my caps. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. Then I go to my storage box. My storage box has a fire extinguisher that is probably full and up to date. I have 3 reflective triangles. I have spare fuses and spare circuit breakers. Then I will go to my catwalk and my steps. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and there's no objects or debris. Then I will go to my frame of my tractor. I will go to my torsion bar and my cross members. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and there's no holes or even wear other than factory. Then I go to my drive shaft. My drive shaft is not bent or hanging. Then I go to my electrical box. I go to my electrical box on my tractor and my electrical box on my trailer. But we're gonna talk about the tractor first. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and it's secured to my tractor. My air lines is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I hear no leaks. My electrical lines not cut, cracked, gyrated, or frayed, and there's no burnt or exposed wires. Then I'm gonna go to my electrical box on my trailer side. That's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and it's secured to my trailer. My glad hands not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. The rubbing groovements inside is not cracked, chipped, or pellet. Then I'm gonna go to my trailer face and my trailer header board. That's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screw or rivets, and there's no holes that will allow any elements to get in and damage my freight. Then I'm gonna go to my spring mounts and my spring mounts front and back, and my U-bolts. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. Then I go to my leaf springs. My leaf springs not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. They're properly aligned. So with more than a quarter leafing missing, I will place this tractor out of service. My shock absorber not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. Then I'm gonna go to my air bag and my air mounts. My air mounts not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. My air bag is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I hear no leaks. Then I'm gonna go to my brake hose. My brake hose is not cut, cracked, gyrated, or bulging, and I hear no leaks. My brake chamber and locking ring not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and I hear no leaks. My slack adjuster push rod cotter pin, not bent, cracked, or broken. It sits at a 9-degree angle, so with the brace relief, it should move no more than 1 inch. Then I go to my brake lining. My brake lining, there's no excessive wear, and there's no signs of oil or grease, and there's no wears other than factory. Go to my brake drum. My brake drums, not bent, cracked, or broken. There's no sign of oil or grease, and there's no wears other than factory. Then I will go to my space. There's a proper space between my tires. They're not touching, and there's no object or debris between my tires. Then I go to my valve stem. My valve stem not bent, cracked, or broken. The cap is on, so I hear no leaks. My tire pressure is at 100 psi because I checked it with a pressure gauge. My tire is at 232 tread depth. My sidewall is not cut, crack, dry out, or bulging, and there's no uneven wear. My rims are not bent, cracked, or broken, and there's no holes or wears other than factory. Then I go to my lugs and studs. My lugs and studs not bent, cracked, or broken, and there's no sign of running rust that would indicate a loose lug or stud. Then I'm gonna go to my axle seal. My axle seal is not bent, cracked, or broken, missing the nut with screws, and I see no leaks. Then I'm gonna go to my splash guide, my splash guides, and my mud flaps. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing the nut with screws, and they're not missing. Then I'm gonna go to my coupling system. You can check out the platform. The platform that bent, cracked, or broken, missing the nut with screws. The mounting bolts are in position, and there's no holes or wells other than factory. Then I'm going to my fifth wheel. My fifth wheel not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and it's properly greased. My apron not bent, cracked, or broken, and there's no space between my fifth wheel or my apron. My kingpin not bent, cracked, or broken. My locket pins is not bent, cracked, or broken. They are locked in the shank and around the shank of the kingpin and not the header. My fifth wheel release arm and safety latch that bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and is in the lock position. My slide fifth wheel and my locket pins that bent, cracked, or broken, the locket pins are in the lock position, and the fifth wheel is in position so the frame of my truck won't hit the landing gears. Then I'm gonna look at my reverse light and my reflectors. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and they are red in color. Then I look at my reverse lights. My reverse light not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws, and they are clear in color. My trailer frame is not bent, cracked, or broken, missing nut bunch of screws. The cross members are not missing, and there's no holes that will allow an element to get in and damage my freight. Then I'm gonna check my trailer side. My trailer side not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screw or rivets, and there's no holes that will allow an element to get in and damage my freight. My DOT tape running full length for the trailer. It does not crack, chip, or peel it. Then I'm gonna check my landing gears. My landing gears not bent, cracked, or broken, missing no nut bunch of screws. The legs are up in the up position, so there's no objects or debris underneath. And my crank hand is in the stove position. My crank handle is in the stove position. Then I would check my mid turns, my mid trailer single turning light. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing nut bunch of screws, and it's amber in color. Then I look at my marker light. My marker light not bent, cracked, or broken, missing nut bunch of screws, and it's red in color. Then I check my ABS light. My ABS light not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and it's amber in color. Then I check my torque bar. My torque bar not bent, cracked, or broken, missing up my screw, and it's in the lock position. Then I check my spring mounts and U-bolts. My spring mount front and back in my U-bolts. Now bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. Then I check my leaf spring. My leaf spring not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. They are properly in line, so if more than a quarter leaf is missing, I will place this tractor out of service. Then I check my tandem release arm. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and it is in the lock position. Then I check my brake hose. My brake hose is not cut, cracked, dry out, or bulging, and I hear no leaks. My brake trim and locker ring not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and I hear no leaks. My slack adjuster, push rod, and cotter pin not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. It sits at a 90-degree angle, so with the brace relief, it should move no more than 1 inch. My shock absorber not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and I see no leaks. My brake liners. There's no excessive wear. There's no sign of oil or grease. There's no sign of oil or grease, and there's no wells other than factory. My brake drums not bent, cracked, or broken. There's no signs of oil or grease, and there's no wells other than factory. The space between my tires, they're properly spaced, they're not touching, and there's no object or debris between my tires. My valve stem is not bent, cracked, or broken. The cap is on, so I hear no leaks. My tire sits at 100 psi because I checked it with a pressure gauge. My tread depth is 232, and my sidewall is not cut, cracked, dry rotted, bulging, and there's no uneven wear. My rims are not bent, cracked, or broken, and there's no holes or wells other than factory. My lug and studs not bent, cracked, or broken. Missing a number of screws, and there's no running rust that would indicate a loose lug or stud. Then I go to my hub seal, not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a number of screws, and I see no leaks. Then I'm gonna go to the back of my trailer. The back of my trailer, I'm gonna look at the back of my trailer, my clearance lights, my ID lights, my running lights, my four ways, and my turn signals, and my brake lights. Not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a number of screws, and they are red in color. Then I'm gonna look at my hinges. They're not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. And then I'm gonna look at my door and my door handle, not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. Then I'm gonna look at my DOT bumper. My DOT bumper not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. The DOT tape went from the full reef on the bumper. It is not cracked, chipped, or peeling. Then I'm gonna go to my mud flap. My mud flap not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws, and it is not missing. Hold on. Then we're gonna do the in-cab inspection. The in-cab inspection. First, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna adjust my seat. I'm gonna adjust my mirrors, and I'm gonna adjust my seat belt, and I'm gonna check it. It's not cut, cracked, dry rotted, or frayed, and all the things are properly working fine. Then I'm gonna do my safety start. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, and I'm gonna put this truck in the on position so the gauge is sweep, and then I'm gonna start the truck up. Then my ABS light will come on and go off. Then I'm gonna do the service brake. I'm gonna gently take my foot off the brake. I'm gonna put my truck in first gear, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go 5 miles per hour, and then I'm gonna make sure my truck don't move side to side. Then I'm gonna check my gauges. My gauges is not chipped or cracked, and it's clean and clear. My temperature is up to par, so my truck is not overheating. My oil is at 60 psi. My voltage is from 12 to 14, and my air pressure is from 100 to 125. Then I'm gonna check my lights. I'm gonna check my left turn signal, my right turn signal, my high beams, my four ways, and my DF lights are on. Then I'm gonna check my window seal. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. It's not chipped or cracked, and it's clean and clear. There's no illegal stickers. The only sticker is current and up to date, and my window seal is not chipped, cracked, dry rotted, or missing. My windshield wipers, it's not bent, cracked, or broken, missing a nut bunch of screws. My razors, it's not cut, cracked, dry rotted, or missing. My city horn and my air horn. Then I'm gonna check my defroster and my heater. How to check? I'm gonna turn it on, and how I'm gonna check my defroster. I'm gonna put my hand on the dashboard, between the dashboard and the window shield, and then I'm gonna check my heater. I'm gonna put it under the console and in front of your knees. Then I'm gonna do the tug test. The tug test, I'm gonna release the tractor brake so it can pull against the trailer brake, and it's holding. Then I'm gonna set my tractor brake. I'm gonna set my tractor brake and release the trailer brake, and so it can tug against the tractor, and it's holding. And then I'm gonna set the tractor brake and put the truck back in neutral. And that's my in-cab inspection. And then I'm gonna do the leakage test. First of all, I'm gonna wait till the air pressure build, and then the governor gonna shut off. Then second, I'm gonna put the truck in first gear. Third, I'm gonna cut the truck off, but put it in the on position so the gauge can sweep. Then I'm gonna push my valves in. I'm gonna set my valves. I'm gonna release my valves. Then I'm gonna wait till the air stabilize. Then I'm gonna put my foot on the brake and hold it for 60 seconds, and I shouldn't lose no more than 4 psi. Then I'm gonna fan my brake up to 60 psi, and the red warning buzzer will come on. Then I'm gonna keep fanning my brakes. At 30 to 40 psi, my trailer brake should pop out, and at 20 to 30 psi, my tractor brake should pop out. And when it do, that concludes my leakage test. And then I'm gonna make sure the whoever in the cab with me get out and check all my lights. And that's the pre-trip Class A inspection. My name is Darrell Williams, and I'm gonna holler at you.